Good evening. My name is Nigel Chambers. I'm from Big Gold Belt Media. Murray, thank you so much for your time today. Very excited to talk about your new project, My Lady Jane, coming to Prime Video June 27th. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Listen, I'm not as good as you because you are having a hell of a year, extraordinary, and now I'm at My Lady Jane.
That is
Like,
very
how you
kind.
taking 2024 in? Like, you're killing it. How you feeling about that?
Great. Yeah, it feels, two shows that I'm extremely, extremely proud of. And yeah, I hope people will fall in love with My Lady Jane as much as people fell in love with Extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely will. I've checked out this season and so many questions. But for the first question I'm going to ask you, and this question, as I've been saying today, is directed towards you, Marae, not your character. So you, no spoilers,
Yeah.
no indications, no nothing, nah, 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 nah. If you could be an EDN, what animal would you be?
I think I'd like to be like something really boring like a dormouse. So I could just like run away into a corner when it all gets a bit much. But also, I'd love to see where mice go because they can, go in skirting boards and just kind of disappear.
Yeah,
Just wanted to see
yeah,
what the life of
yeah.
a mouse would be like, yeah. What would
The
you
way how
do?
my anxiety related with that answer.
Yeah, that's where it was coming from, deep inside.
Uh, First, I want to ask you, you get some hand-to-hand combat in here. So let's talk about the weapons training. How exciting was that for you for this?
That was amazing. I loved it. I'm quite like I'm quite like sporty, and I love learning a new skill. And yeah, CC, our stunt coordinator, was remarkable, and he said at the start, he was like, anytime you want to do it, like, we'll do it. And he held me to that. He was like, he saw me sitting down and he was like, are you wanting to do it? And I was like, okay, right, let's go. And it was really challenging. Like, it was, I think, you kind of had to, in a scene like that, it's when you're learning choreography that has to be very controlled, but also very believable. And you really have to like throw yourself into it physically and not hold back for fear. Um,
Yeah.
it was hard, and I think it really pushed me, and I got a few bruises here and there, but I think those scenes look really good. So yeah, I think all the fighting in it is it's tough, and it's like, yeah, it's sharp.
Very low key good. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was, and it definitely blew me away. So that only means you're queuing up for a action film next. So we'll talk when that drops. Okay.
Please, I'll be
I'll be
here.
right here waiting for you. Absolutely, I'll be right here waiting for you. Two questions I want to really quickly get in is could you describe the pack and what does the pack mean for Susanna?
Yeah, the pack, I guess, is kind of the core group of Ethian leaders who guide the other Ethians, who kind of spokesperson for people for the Ethians. They negotiate with the kind of Verities and try and get them more rights and more freedom and try and stop the discrimination and change things. And I think for like Susanna, like her life has been led, she's been in such a box where she's had to live in this castle and abide by these rules, wear a uniform. And even though her and Jane's friendship is really tight and close, there's always like a power dynamic there, right? And it's like that cannot change or be different until she gets her freedom. And obviously, I don't think she
Mm.
expects to, she's speaking to Jane the first episode, saying, and what she's trying to say to her is like, you don't realize the impact that this could have on me if I leave with you. It could be fatal if I get found out. But I think she decides to take that chance. And for if anything, I think it actually benefits her further, because I think when she joins the pack and um, is allowed to kind of just be her true identity, I think she gains so much from being with other people who are like her, and can then lean into like her fierceness and her bravery and all of these things that I guess she's been having to repress for the years of being Susanna or Jane's maid.
There's so many great characters, and if that doesn't sell you that you have one of the most interesting characters, I don't know what. Really, really quickly, because you did talk about the relationship with Jane. She is somebody who holds Jane's feet to the ground, holds her accountable. Can you just go a little bit deeper into that relationship and how that's explored over the season?
Yes, yeah, you're right. Holds her accountable. I think like their relationship develops so much because Jane obviously doesn't know the secret about her. Susanna's had to hold it close to her chest, and then when she reveals it, it changes their relationship forever. Like, it can't go back to how it was, right? And there has to be a change from Jane you know, I think from Susanna's eyes, Jane is quite entitled and oblivious, and she's a product of her privilege, being, you know, a rich woman, and she doesn't, I guess Jane, she's not dislikable, but she's just oblivious, right? And I think Susanna wants to kind of, as you say, hold her accountable and pull her back down and make her aware of this. And I think then over time, she begins to feel Jane's support and willingness to understand and desire to change and be different. And I think then ultimately that helps their friendship for the better. And I think it helps Susanna as well. Obviously, a lot of like her reaction to Jane and her kind of obliviousness towards all this and ignorance, her frustration at that comes from, you know, her finally being allowed to say it for the first time. And, you know, she's been pent up. It's been pent up for however many years. But then Susanna rather, has to then also, you know, now that she's gotten her frustration out, has to let it quell and try and understand Jane, where she's coming from. And I think they meet in the middle over time.
If that's not the conversation everybody needs to be having in society today. But truly, Mairead, it's been a complete honor to talk to you. And My
Lovely
Lady
to meet
Jane
you.
comes to Prime Video June 27th. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Take care.